Let us discuss one of the important topic in biochemistry, that is biological oxidation. Biological oxidation. In this biological oxidation, let us discuss overview and what is oxidation and reduction, and redox potential, and electron transport chain, and oxidative phosphorylation, and synthesis of ATP. And chemiosmotic hypothesis. Let us discuss overview, oxidation reduction, redox potential, electron transport chain, ATP synthesis, oxidative phosphorylation, and chemiosmotic theory. First of all, let us discuss about overview. In overview, let us discuss about what is biological oxidation. Biological oxidation is a oxidation in which complex molecules will get converted into simplest molecules. In our body, like carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. Carbohydrates, proteins, lipids are converted into, these carbohydrates are converted into monosaccharides. Proteins are converted into amino acids. And lipids are converted into fatty acids. Carbohydrates are converted into monosaccharides, and proteins are converted into amino acids, and lipids are converted into fatty acids. This entire process is called first stage metabolism. This is first stage metabolism. Now, these monosaccharides, amino acids, fatty acids will get converted into acetyl CoA. This acetyl CoA will be entered into TCA cycle. When acetyl CoA which enters into the TCA cycle, it results in formation of oxygen, carbon dioxide, and along with carbon dioxide, it forms NADH plus H plus FADH plus H plus. Once again, this acetyl CoA, when it is entered into TCA cycle, it forms carbon dioxide plus some coenzymes like NAD plus FAD. Now, this entire process is called second stage metabolism. Now, whenever this NAD plus FAD H2, these two structures, whenever it enters into the electron transport chain, it forms water molecules. as an end product. This is third stage metabolism. This is a first stage metabolism, and this is a second stage metabolism, and this is a third stage metabolism. This is about normal oxidation which takes place in our body. If we discuss about the oxidation and reduction, let us consider one example. Fe plus 2 will get converted into Fe plus 3 by removal of one electron. Removal of electron and gain and increasing in oxidation number is oxidation. Now the conversion of this ferric ion into ferrous ion by taking one electron is reduction. This is about oxidation and reduction. And let us consider NAD H plus H plus FAD H plus H plus. These two structures are called redox pairs. These two are redox pairs. Now, what is redox potential? Redox potential is the ability of redox pair to attract or to lose the electrons from redox pair. Redox potential is, it is also called electron transport potential. Redox potential is ability of redox pair to attract or lose the electrons from the redox pair. This is about redox potential. It is also called electron transport potential. And if we discuss about the electron transport chain, this electron transport chain contains 4 complexes. First one, complex 1. The name of this complex 1 is NAD coenzyme Q oxidoreductase. NAD coenzyme Q oxidoreductase, and it consists of coenzyme like FMN and protein like iron sulfide. It consists of proteins like iron sulfur, and the name of this first complex is NAD coenzyme Q oxidoreductase. And if we discuss the flow of electrons in this complex 1 is, first of all, from NAD electrons will be transferred to FMN. Now this, whenever the electrons are transferred, it becomes FMN H2. Now from this FMN H2 or FMN, the electrons will be transferred to iron sulfur protein. Now whenever iron sulfur protein takes electrons, it becomes FeSH2. Now from iron sulfur protein, 2 electrons will be moved to the coenzyme Q. This is the transfer of electrons in first complex, and the name of first complex is NAD coenzyme Q oxidoreductase. And complex 2, complex 2. The name of this complex 2 is succinate dehydrogenase. Succinate dehydrogenase, and it consists of coenzyme like FAD, and it also consists a protein like iron sulfur protein. And if we discuss about the flow of electrons in this complex 2 from succinate, 2 electrons will transfer to FAD. It becomes FADH2. Now from FADH2, 2 electrons will be moved to the iron sulfur protein. It becomes FeSH2. From this FeSH2, 2 electrons will be moved from coenzyme Q. This is the flow of electrons. This is also called succinate coenzyme Q reductase. Succinate coenzyme Q reductase. This is the flow of electrons in complex 2, and in complex 3, the name of this complex 3 is coenzyme Q cytochrome C oxidoreductase. Coenzyme Q cytochrome C oxidoreductase. Coenzyme Q cytochrome C oxidoreductase, and here it consists of cytochrome B and cytochrome C1, and it also consists of Fe+2 and Fe+3 ions. And the flow of electrons in this complex 3 is, from here the electrons are located in coenzyme Q. From coenzyme Q, it will be moved to the cytochrome B. From cytochrome B, it reaches to cytochrome 1. It will reaches to the cytochrome 1. This is complex 3, and in complex 4, the name of this complex 4 is cytochrome oxidase. Cytochrome oxidase. Now, in cytochrome oxidase, it consists of Cu+2 and Cu+3, Fe+2 and Fe+3 ions in it. If we discuss the flow of electrons in this, the last is cytochrome C1. Cytochrome C1 will be reaches to cytochrome C, and from A1, A3, and from here it will be taken by oxygen, and water molecule will be produced here. These are the 4 complexes in biological oxidation, that is electron transport chain. Complex 1, complex 2, complex 3, complex 4. Complex 1 is NAD coenzyme Q oxidoreductase, and complex 2 is succinate dehydrogenase or succinate coenzyme Q reductase. Complex 3 is coenzyme Q cytochrome C oxidoreductase, and complex 4 is cytochrome oxidase. This is about introduction of electron transport chain. As we know that this electron transport chain will occurs in intermitochondrial membrane. Inner mitochondrial membrane. Let us consider this is a inner mitochondrial membrane and it is intermembranous space and it is a lumen, and this is complex 1. This is complex 2. This is complex 3. And this is complex 4. Complex 1, 2, 3 and 4. Complex 1, complex 2, complex 3 and complex 4. This is intermembrane space and this is inner membrane and it is lumen. Now, first of all, electrons from NaDH2 will be, before discussing about this NaDH2, there is a special structure like this is coenzyme Q and here it is cytochrome C. Now from electrons from NaDH2 will be taken up by FMN and will get converted into FMNH2. From FMNH2, the 2 electrons will be taken up by iron sulfur protein. It becomes FeSH2. Now from this FeSH2, 2 electrons will be moved to coenzyme Q. This is from first complex. NaDH2 will give 2 electrons to FMNH2. From FMNH2, 2 electrons will be given to iron sulfur protein, and from iron sulfur protein it will be given to the coenzyme Q. This is from first complex. And if we consider from second complex, this is succinate. From succinate, the molecule 2 electrons will be given to FADH2. From this FADH2, 2 electrons will be taken by iron sulfur protein. From this iron sulfur protein, 2 electrons will be given to the coenzyme Q complex. From coenzyme Q complex, it will be given to the cytochrome B. From the cytochrome B, it will given to the cytochrome C1. From the cytochrome C1, 2 electrons will be given to the cytochrome C1, 2 electrons will be given to the cytochrome C. From cytochrome C, 2 electrons will be given to the A, and from A it is given to the AA3, and here it is reacted with half mole of oxygen, will result in formation of water molecule. This is the process of electron transport chain. This is electron transport chain, and this is normal process of electron transport chain. And if we discuss about the energetics of this electron transport chain, when the electrons are moving from this first complex, there are 12 kilocalories of energy is produced. 12 kilocalories of energy is produced. When 12 kilocalories of energy is produced, 2 protons will be pumped from lumen to the intermembrane space. Totally 4 H plus. Here 4 protons will be moved from lumen to the intermembrane space. That is 12 kilocalories. But here there is less amount of energy which is produced when compared to here. Now in this complex 3, 10 kilocalories will be produced. As a result, 4 H plus molecules will be moved. 4 H plus molecules will be moved from lumen to the intermembrane space, and in complex 4, 10 kilocalories will be produced. So as a result, 2 H plus or 2 protons will be produced. As a result, 4 plus 4 plus 10. 4 plus 4 plus 2, total 10 are produced in this condition. Total 10 H plus ions are produced from, in case of NaDH2. And if we discuss from second complex, that is succinate dehydrogenase, only 6 H plus ions are produced. That is from FADH2. If we consider from NaDH2, 10 H plus ions are produced. If we discuss from FADH2, total 6 H plus ions are produced. This is about the energetics of electron transport chain. Totally there are 4 plus 4, 10 proteins, 10 H plus ions are produced. As a result, the positive gradient will be developed at the inner membranous space. And here the negative charge will be developed. Now, whenever this positive charge is developed, there is last complex, that is complex number 5. The complex number 5 is name is ATP synthase. Whenever and it consists of 2 parts, that is F0 part and F1 part. And whenever the positive gradient is developed in this area, whenever it is developed positive gradient in that area, this F0 structure having one ring-like structure, through which this total all the positive protons will be entered to the inner side. And if we discuss about the structure of F0 molecule, it consists of a ring-like structure. And these rings are made up of 10C rings. These rings are called 10C rings. And here these positively charged protons will be moved to the inner side, and there is a motor mechanism which takes place in this ATP synthase, that is complex number 5. And if we discuss about the complex number 5, let us consider this is a complex 5. And this is F0 protein, and here there is a rod-like structure. This is F1 protein, F0 protein, and this is F1 protein. And this F1 protein consists of it consists of gamma in this rod. It consists of gamma subunit in this rod, and it consists of these are also subunits in which these are called alpha subunits, and these are beta subunits, and last one is called gamma subunits. This is about structure of this is a structure of ATP synthase. It is F0 and this is the F1 structure. Inside the F1 structure, it consists of gamma subunit. This is the gamma subunit. On either sides of the gamma subunit, it consists of 3 alpha subunits, 3 beta subunits, and 3 delta subunits, plus 1 gamma subunit. 3 alpha, 3 beta, and 3 delta, along with 1 gamma subunits. Whenever the positively charged protons will be entered in this direction, it will be moved to the inner side. As a result, there will be conformation changes which take place in these subunits and result in formation of ATP. Now, these subunits which are present are of 3 conformations. One is open conformation, and other one is loose conformation, other one is tight conformation. Loose conformation is for release of ATP, and open conformation is for release of ATP, and loose conformation is for binding of ADP with inorganic phosphate, and tight conformation is for synthesis of ATP. And in synthesis of ATP, we will take a ratio of P:O ratio. P:O ratio will give idea about inorganic phosphate required for ATP to the ratio of oxygen molecule which is required for ATP. This P:O ratio is useful for electron transport chain. This is about the biological oxidation and electron transport chain.